Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening to you all. Thanks for joining. So today we'll discuss the Builders of Africa's Future Accelerator program that is curated by the African Diaspora Network. My name is Rose, and I am the Entrepreneurship Programs Manager here at ADN. We are a nonprofit based in Silicon Valley. And I'm delighted to have my colleague here, Fatima, who will also introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Fatima Diallo. I'm the Community and Diaspora Engagement Associate here at ADN. Welcome.
All right, so today we'll learn a bit about the African Diaspora Network, who we are, the types of programs and initiatives that we champion, and then dive deeper into the Builders of Africa's Future, so we call it BAF. So if I call it the BAF program, then you know exactly what I'm referring to. um, and then go through the program experience to give you a sense of what the program journey is, the timeline, as well as what you can expect from the application process. And we're delighted today to also have two of our alumni, Grace and Bidemi. And so they'll have an opportunity to share with you firsthand what the program has meant to them and how it's shaped their entrepreneurial journey. So we have some questions there. And so to want to give time for them to share their experience, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into this presentation, and then we'll take questions at the end. So as you have questions, please include them in the chat, and Fatima will make sure that we answer them at the end of the session. All right. And so as I shared, ADN is a nonprofit. We were established in 2010. And our aim, excuse me, has been to energize collaboration among entrepreneurs, philanthropists, and African diaspora, and to uplift Africa and the communities that its diaspora lives in. We are dedicated to providing virtual and physical forums to accelerate resources that foster partnership, knowledge sharing, and to advance investment opportunities. Um, we are the first organization to bring together a global network of Africans and Friends of Africa, connecting entrepreneurs, investors, like yourself, academics, leaders of nonprofit organizations, and so on and so forth. Uh, as I mentioned about the convenings, that is a central part of what we do. And so we welcome all who are invested, committed to to advancing the development of Africa and the diaspora, and where the in the homes where its diaspora lives. Our mission is to harness the collective power of the global African diaspora and harnessing the collective power of the global African diaspora, and catalyze to drive entrepreneurship, to forge partnerships, facilitate knowledge exchange, and generate social impact and foster human capital development. All right. As part of that, we let me move my cursor. Okay. So in order to accomplish that, or as a result of those commitments, and those initiatives, we have had the honor of accomplishing so much, including the metrics that you see before you. So, convening over 11,000 people through our various programs and initiatives. We have a network of over 200 entrepreneurs across the US as well as on the continent. And we've engaged over 115 countries, and have a strong community, a global community of 45,000 across our various channels. And so we're very proud of that. These are our key programs and initiatives that we champion. And so today we will be talking more about the Builders of Africa's Future. One that I would love to bring to your attention, to bring a special attention to, is the African Diaspora Investment Symposium, also known as ADIS. It's coming up March 25th to the 27th in Santa Clara. California, where we will be convening a very dedicated group of entrepreneurs, of investors, philanthropists, and others to really dive deeply into key issues such as healthcare, AI, and others, finance, and other topics. And so, if that is of interest to you, we would love to invite you to be a part of that. We're happy to share registration details for you to go ahead and register for that. But it's coming up very quickly. So March 25th to the 20th to the 27th. Today we're going to focus on the Builders of Africa's Future, the BAF program, as I shared. And across our three accelerator programs, we have been able to accomplish so much, and we're really grateful to our partners who have made this part possible, and also our entrepreneurs who make this possible every day. And so the ABLE program is one that supports entrepreneurs based in the US. And so these are US based companies that are for profit, revenue generating. And we have a network now. That number is actually should be 71 entrepreneurs that we've supported and trained. This is an experience that happens over the course of 6 to 8 weeks. At the end of the program, we bring those entrepreneurs to Silicon Valley where they have the opportunity to pitch to the ecosystem there and to be introduced formally into that ecosystem. And so we're very proud of that. The BF program, as I mentioned, we have supported and trained 93 entrepreneurs across the continent, and with 19 countries represented. And this particular program serves entrepreneurs that are based on the continent who are operating either nonprofit or for-profit businesses. And so just something for you to keep in mind if you are questioning whether you're eligible. And then lastly, the SYC program is a program that we work with our Conrad Hilton Foundation partners to support Catholic sisters who are often, very deeply rooted and connected to communities, and serving them in a number of capacities. And so this program um, helps to support them as they look to sustain their businesses, to formalize and sustain their businesses over time. All right. We're very proud of our alumni from all of our programs, and for the BAF program especially. I just wanted to give you a snapshot of our top sectors, countries where our entrepreneurs have are based, and also last year we were delighted to learn that one of our BAF entrepreneurs, Sister Junza, won the $1 million Opus Prize, where she traveled, came to Xavier University in Louisiana, and was awarded that prize. And so our entrepreneurs go on to do a number of different things. And today you'll hear from two outstanding entrepreneurs, and really just excited for you all to have that opportunity. All right. And so the learning journey. What can you expect when you join the BAF program? This just gives you a snapshot of what the experience is, what it looks like, what you can expect. Over the past several years since 2018 in establishing the program, it's been a 4 month program. This will be the first year that it's going to be a bit different. It's going to be a 3 month experience with a specific focus on a strategy, finance, and customer acquisition. And so this just gives you an opportunity to see what you can experience from month to month. Um, the virtual learning labs that you'll be a part of are held monthly for 2 hours. And so you'll start off with a kickoff, and then from the kickoff, you'll have three learning lab sessions that are 2 hours each, where you will dive into these three main areas that I've shared: strategy, finance, and customers. And as part of that experience, you'll have the opportunity to uh, to dive into the a learning platform, an online learning platform where you will learn about various these topics, but you'll dive a little bit deeper into content that helps you focus on cash flow, that helps you focus on developing a marketing strategy, and to really fine-tune your pitch deck for funding opportunities. And you'll also work through a buddy system, and this allows you to collaborate with your peers, to get to know them, to bounce ideas off of one another, and to really grow and learn together. And so the experience is asynchronous. You have both the in-person, the virtual sessions where you'll meet monthly, but then on your own time, in between the sessions, you'll have the opportunity to get onto the learning platform to complete the assignments that are required so that you can go ahead and so that you can apply them in your day to day. In terms of the program criteria and the benefits, what we're looking for those that are interested in applying for the program are is an establishment of a legal entity within 6 months or more. So you need to be operating your your nonprofit or for-profit for 6 months or more. We also are expecting to see early traction, evidence of early traction, and that you need to have a tangible digital or physical product. You must be an innovative the solution must be an innovative approach to serve an unmet need on the continent. And with that, let me say that we are looking for culturally relevant, right? Not just a copy and paste version of a Western idea, but to ensure that it's in tune with the context in which you are, in which you are, you're serving. Um, and then lastly, you have to have the capacity to participate in the sessions that I mentioned, the monthly sessions, but also to complete the required coursework that's part of the curriculum. As part of being in the program, there are a number of benefits. This is a program that is fully paid for, so we're not asking you to pay for it. We're grateful for partners who have positioned us in a way that we're able to bring in entrepreneurs, support them without asking for a fee. We also offer access to expert mentors, exposure through various media features. As I mentioned, ADN has a community, a global community of over 45,000 people, and this is where we really try to increase visibility of our entrepreneurs and the incredible work that they're doing. We also welcome you to be a part of ADN's thriving network of entrepreneurs to collaborate, to learn from one another, to convene with one another, and then lastly, you will have a special invitation, a complimentary registration ticket to our upcoming African Diaspora Investment Symposium that is scheduled for 2027. And this particular symposium we're excited about because it's looking like it's going to be based on the continent. And so we're delighted to have the opportunity to welcome you to that experience. For the program timeline, the deadline is March 31st. So if you're wondering if you have enough time, you absolutely do. February 23rd, apologies, that should be 2026. But February 23rd was when the application officially launched. We are actively receiving applications, and so I encourage you after this to start your application if you haven't already. You can save your application, but you have to make sure that you submit. You have to hit the submit button when you're ready to submit it. And it has to be by the March 31st date. Any applications received after that will not be considered. We start interviews April 8th. And as part of the 30-minute interview, we will require you to pitch your venture. You'll have 3 minutes to pitch your venture. A pitch deck is not required. We simply want to hear and understand where you are in terms of feeling comfortable with sharing your story and pitching to, potential funders and investors. The full program ultimately ends with, as you can see here, a pitch event that is virtual, where we bring in our dynamic network and distinguished ecosystem of investors, funders, mentors, and others. So we want to make sure that we start off understanding where you are in terms of your comfortability with pitching, and then we'll work with you along the way to strengthen it so that once you get to the pitch day in August, you feel really good about your pitch deck. The final cohort will be announced the first week of May, with the program kicking off around May 7th. Graduation and pitch day dates will be announced later, but those are expected to be mid to late August. And so again, I think the key dates that you need to focus on right now is are the March 31st application deadline, which is very important. And again, if you are selected as a finalist, which you'll be notified, we then will invite you to interview as early as April 8th. All right. And so in terms of submitting your application, this is what the portal looks like. You, I'm going to, all right, I hope you all can see my screen here. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Um, but you essentially go onto the portal. You'll see the application for 2026. And then here are the terms and conditions. And then you click apply, right? And it'll ask you to create a name for the application. I generally think it's best to name it after your company. There's a suggestion here. Once you create the name and you hit a create application, it then, let me see if I can, it then will bring you to your application where you can complete the form. All right, so let's actually pause here for a moment before we bring on our distinguished alumni. Very excited, Bidemi and Grace. I hope you're both there and that you can hear me. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Um, okay, fantastic. So Bidemi and Grace are here. Grace, can you hear us and see us okay? We have 45 people who are eager to hear from you. So all right, so we'll go ahead and get started. I would love to ask Bidemi to introduce himself to get us started, and then we'll have Grace join as well. Give me one quick second. Let me just do something, and then. Okay, fantastic. All right, here you go, Grace. I see you. All right, fantastic. So I'll ask both of them, excuse me, if you can both introduce yourself. So just your name, your venture or ventures, because I know, Grace, you're a founder of multiple ventures. Excuse me, where you're based, and then what year you graduated from the BAF program. Yeah, go ahead, Grace. Yep, that's perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi everyone. Really happy to have joined this session. My name is Grace Nakibala, and I am based in Uganda. I founded Pedota Evitent innovations that are really focusing on infection prevention and control, preventing infection spread, especially in places where there are outbreaks like COVID that we are all familiar with. But the idea started when there was Ebola in West Africa in 2014, and having tested them and piloted placed us better as a country. When COVID came, we were able to then scale these products in the management of COVID within Uganda and the countries neighboring. I was part of BAF 2023.
Okay. Grace, I think you cut out there.
Exciting opportunity and really excited for that.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Grace. But Demi, it's your turn.
Okay, thank you, Rose. Thank you for the opportunity. Glad to be here. I'm Bidemil Joe. I'm the co-founder and CEO of World Pharmacy. At World, we're improving access to safe and affordable medicines through technology. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I participated in the BAF program 2025, and it's been an interesting journey. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. And so, how did participating in the BAF program support your growth, or how has it supported in your growth and development as an entrepreneur? And how has it shaped your entrepreneurial journey? Anyone can take the question.
Should I jump in or Grace is already? She
Go
back?
ahead. Yeah, Grace can chime in when you're done.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, when you were running through the program, you said it was 3 months. Now, ours was 4 months actually. So it was very deep and intense. One thing I enjoyed about the program was the breakout sessions with you know, African alumni, Africans, young people from other countries in Africa, where you can, have deep conversations. They usually two breakout sessions, about 30 minutes each. You can compare notes. I usually love those kind of conversations. Another aspect I enjoyed was the AMI platform. Is very, very practical and relatable. Before now, as CEO, I gave little credence to operational uh, discipline operations in depth. But the program focused on finance, bookkeeping, human resources, and operational systems helped me to think about operations deeper. At this time where budgets are tightening everywhere, and you just have to look at your systems again where there's a leakage, how to cut costs, how to make your system foolproof, while you scale your venture. So that's a very important aspect that I learned and how it has supported my growth. Of course, I'll be speaking at this program later this month. Thank you for the opportunity. That's only what BAF program being an alumni can do for you. Who would have thought in my wildest dreams that I'll be speaking in Silicon Valley? Man, that's practically impossible. Only possible with the BA program and the African Diaspora Network. Of course, last year, the Africa Diaspora Network was also gracious. They sponsored me to, an Angel Business Network for Africa, a conference. It worth, a lot of money in dollars. I mean, how would I be able to afford it? But it was the Africa Diaspora Network that found me and other alumni worthy. And I had a very great 3 days engaging with investors, meeting founders, even founders from this program, past cohort, and engaging in deep conversation, learning about how investment will work out, and it can only get better. So I've learned a lot in the last 1 year. I'm still learning. It's not even up to 1 year, and I've learned so much. I have so much in my portfolio. So I think I should let Grace take the question. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you can hear me. My network keeps dropping, but yeah. So for me, I'll start by the network that I formed in Uganda, and having been an innovator in Uganda since 2015, really 16, I thought I had explored the entire Uganda network. But I must say, we were three colleagues in the same cohort, and up to now, we are engaging each other. We have conversations. We share opportunities. We iron sharpens iron. So we have conversations around how do I move forward? How do I do this? Just ways of doing certain documentation, ways of running a startup, and that's very rich. I guess that was built by the way the whole program was structured. The conversations we're having on a weekly, the engagements in the breakout sessions that have been talked about. And then, of course, as we are processing different activities after that, it's really a close network. And that was a very big one. In terms of content, I think for me, the big one was the finance. And when you're an innovator, you have this great idea and it's great. You scale it through COVID. It's really perfect until you get those books running properly with proper tools. And then you start asking yourself the question. So great tools, and it wasn't just the finance tools, quite a number of tools that we're exposed to. We had an opportunity to use, and I still use in my businesses. It was great learning. I wouldn't get that from anywhere else. But also one of the other things that just happened last year was me being part of the industry innovation activity in Rwanda at the university there. And I must say that I met 100 innovators in that space. I met a network of university students. I learned AI. My passion for AI jumped up. And again, I guess I'm supposed to be innovating in different spaces. But I met young people who are creating solutions and using AI in a way that I could never imagine. And that has made me introduce a bit of the lessons learned and materials used into the Uganda context, and supporting innovation and supporting innovators, and them knowing that AI is not here to kill us; it's here to actually, as an enabler, it's going to take us to great heights. Also, really glad with the activities that happen with BAF. From not just the cohort happening, but us being engaged, up to date, the emails that come through, the communication, the opportunities that are thrown to us. Also, I got an opportunity to travel for the ADN. That was last year, but one. uh, Again, met a lot of people, but the highlight of people I met there was I had one and worked with the UC Berkeley with my innovation to pilot. And I had no idea what the African network looked like there. And I was able to meet the head of the African department studies at that event, and the conversations are still happening. A lot of engagements, a lot of lessons, but also now I'm engaged in being a judge in their competitions from the African perspective with African students that go to the university, to say but a few. So it's really great opportunity. It's a whole step ahead in not only your innovation, but also at a personal level, getting the people who talk to you in a language that is very rare for innovators. As the process is different for us, understanding of how to solve problems, financial management when you're starting up and you have to spend and you also have family. What does that mean? So it's really, really a great opportunity, and I would advise us to really apply. But one thing that I must say, Rose, is please give it 110% of your time. That's how you benefit from it. It's a bit intense in terms of material, but if you give it 110%, you'll benefit. If you don't, then you will not get the value that you need to get out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you both. You've touched on a number of areas that I think it's important for others to hear and understand about the program. You talk about collaboration with your peers, and also exposure to new networks, right? Bidemi to have the opportunity next month to be in Silicon Valley, speaking before health professionals, practitioners, right, thinkers, funders. That's a huge opportunity. It exposes you and sort of opens up your world. For them to also hear about your story and what you're doing with Glee World, Grace, to have the opportunity to go to CMU Africa in Rwanda. That opportunity I have to share with everyone here. We have an advisory committee that is made up of a number of different people, investors, um, and one of our program advisory committee members actually oversees CMU Africa. He's part of that team. And so when the opportunity came, he reached out and said, we have, we would like to select two people from ADN's network, right, to be a part of this. And these opportunities don't come all the time, but they also are limited. So we have to really sit down and think carefully about the entrepreneurs who are going to take advantage of it, right? Who will benefit from it. When Bidemi went to the ABAN, the African Business Angels Network Congress, he was one of two people, right, that we extended the offer to. And so just know that we do our best to really curate these opportunities, to find these opportunities. But as Grace said, whether it's applying for the program, being in the program, after the program, giving it 110%, because that's what we're doing. We're doing everything that we can to pour into your cup and to expose you and give you opportunities that perhaps you wouldn't be able to take advantage of, right? If you weren't part of the ADN network. And so thank you for touching on those things, the collaborations, the extraordinary opportunities, and also touching on the curriculum. It can be intense, right? We all have a lot going on with family, with managing teams, and you're trying to fundraise and all of that. So it's not an easy curriculum by any means. But our partners, the African Management Institute, based in Kenya, they really will work with you hand in hand and support you along the way. So thank you both for jumping into that and sharing more about that. You've already touched on some of this, but in case there's more that you'd like to speak on, are there connections, opportunities, and collaborations with potential partners, investors, strategics that have come as a result of participating in the program and being a part of ADN's network? You can answer that however you would like.
Yeah, thank you. Good one. Yeah, one interesting collaboration in the pipeline for us is, with an able 2025 alumni. She's based in New Jersey. I schooled in New Jersey during my fellowship, Mandela Fellowship. So, such kind of opportunity is rare. We considering a partnership how to bring our technology to Nigeria. So it's only possible through the Africa Diaspora Network, bringing together the BAF program and the able guys are based in the US who are from African descent. So such kind of collaborations, exist because of the Africa Diaspora Network. Basically, one thing I like about it is bridging Africa and the diaspora. And that's a typical example. The diaspora is doing stuff. We're also doing stuff in Africa. How do we collaborate? How do we cross network? How do we compare notes? We have something, they also have something, and then that's mutually beneficial. So we have such in the pipeline. Of course, among us here in Africa too, or here in Nigeria, health tech founders, we also have some collaborations in the works. Let me also say this. Some partnerships may take years, it may take 2 years to accumulate, but sometimes it's good to start the conversations now. And then as time goes on, when your business matures enough and the opportunity, is fully developed, you can plug in. So we have some of those collaborations with even people that are like our competitors. But we think about it that we're one in the entire ecosystem. And I told the founder we're fighting the same enemy, we're solving the same problem. So if we join forces together, we can win the common enemy. So such kind of collaborations are in the works, for us. I think that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Grace, you want to jump in?
Yeah, maybe to really speak into the fact that I think for me the really big highlight, and having been in academia space doing the research and innovating from the start, I Eddie BAF helped me, and an ADN event helped me get to really understand what does that mean outside Uganda, outside strictly academia, but more into the innovation space and people thinking beyond just the research to a product. So that was big. But also just want to mention that just being a BAF alumni, even here in Uganda, there are so many doors it has opened. I've got opportunities with UNDP where it's simply, I think someone who knows someone from BAF saw something posted online and reached out. So it's the network is even beyond the directly sent to us to actually the thing us just being a buff person. There's a whole network that's looking out for you. There are people who know that you've been trained and you've been skilled and you have this expertise that is added value to you. But also it's like a validation, and it may not just be buff, but buff really the Judas of Africa. It's like a validation to a number of partnerships, even with the products that I make. For example, Pedotap, I've got 2 orders in the past in 2025 who really reached out because they saw something online around. I think BAF did a sort of like spotlight or something, and they reached out to procure pedo taps because they saw that online. So it's really, and I appreciate the effort that the team is putting into not just train us, not to just support us for a certain period, but being a 2023 alumni, and I'm still getting those benefits of just me being put out there by the team. That's something I haven't got, and it's amazing. It's a lesson learned. It's also something that is making me think about how can I put myself out there more to keep the network coming, to keep people getting to know what Grace is doing and the products that they are doing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's wonderful to hear of the collaborations, the partnership, potential partnerships. And Bidemi, you make a good point. Yes, it does take time sometimes. You may I think sometimes people join these sort of programs and they think almost immediately everything is going to happen instantaneously, whether it's getting funding, whether it's establishing partnerships, building a network. But the reality is it's over the course of time that we are able to establish those meaningful partnerships. And so happy to hear that both of you, it sounds like BAF has really sort of brought you out of your world into a different world. So it's expanded your ecosystem, your social capital, and that's exactly what we hope will happen because the more people hear about your story, hear about your commitments and the incredible work you're doing, the more people will, hopefully want to partner alongside you and support you along the way. So we really appreciate your contributions and being a part of this family. The last question is, what advice would you give to someone who's interested in participating in this year's program? We have now, I think, 45 people here who are listening and I'm sure are eager to learn about, how they can make themselves stand out for this year's program. We do receive quite a lot of applications, and so how can they, what advice would you give them if they're interested in participating this year?
Thank you very much. Excuse me. Now, the first point is to start to apply. Just go ahead and apply. Now, while you're applying, understand that this program is the best program for underrepresented but proven founders. Now, sometimes the system is rigged against you, but this is the program that is for people who are doing the work, heavy lifting, but sometimes overlooked by other programs. So this program has real valuable founders. And one good thing you'll find here are real entrepreneurs who have substance, who understand entrepreneurship and the way it works, and they are in it for the long term. So the network will become valuable. No doubt about it. You'll find valuable network. The network is growing now. By the end of this program, 2026, it'll get up to 100. And then the able network as well is growing. Now imagine what that would be in the next 5 to 10 years. It will be massive. So it's something you should think about. But while you're doing that, sell your company's vision and where you're going in the long run. Distinguish yourself with, you know, the problem you're solving. How are you solving it? differently from other people, and what is the future plan of what you're trying to do. Be mission aligned, socially minded, and technology focused. And in all of this, I believe that you will get in, no doubt about it. If you show enough zeal and desire to be part of this program, part of this network, you will get it. Lastly, I'll say, re-echo what Rose has just said about this is not uh, instant funding. I met a couple of my colleagues. Some were getting weary because they felt you'll be funded instantly. It's not that time. But it's for founders who, like I said, underrepresented founders who are looking for non-financial ways to maximize opportunity and build for the long haul. Now, there will definitely be funding along the line, but it will not begin with funding. So think about it before you apply. But be passionate. Funding is dry. For underrepresented founders, you will likely not raise millions of dollars fast. But the little funding you have, how do you maximize it? That is what this program will help you do. It will help you manage the little you have to become global. So I think that will be it for now. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah. To jump in here, and thanks for mentioning that, starting with the fact that start applying now. I think that's the one thing that I would tell all of us. If this is what you want, please apply. Start applying now. Don't wait for last day. Don't wait for to rush through. Really think through the questions carefully and really put the information down. But one thing for sure is that just be very what is it called, sincere, like write what exactly you're doing. That it's really the impact. It's what the vision of your company, the mission, the impact that it's going to create, that really sets you apart. It sets you apart from someone who's just doing, but someone who has a vision, who sees impact, who sees where this is going to go. So one thing for sure is really put in your time as you apply, because again, it's a competitive program. But one thing that I'll tell you, and having been in the innovation space since 2014-15, the value that comes with this program is a lot more than money. I should say, for the start, this training, you cannot get it at free. The training, the equipping is extraordinary. That understanding all aspects of a company. Basically, after the whole training, I felt like I can step in every section of a company and just excel at it, or understand what it is. If it meant HR, what does that mean? Finance, what does that mean? Operations, what does that mean? And have the tools that could equip me. So then it becomes a basis when you get funding, or when the funding that you have, you're able to better use it more meaningfully, and your focus is still on the impact, on running your business sustainably. It's really not about just having a product, but more about how do you have a product, how do you have a business that is sustainable, a business that is making money, and with tools and expertise that you've developed through certain months that actually is free of charge, with mentorship, but also people who actually reach out to you on a weekly basis to remind you, to help you and support you throughout the process. So it's really, really a good opportunity that if you get it, it's a leap to another level of your business and yourself as a person. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you both so much. So, the one thing that we hope you walk away with is apply, apply, apply if you want to be considered, and don't wait until the last minute. I think I'll also add that when you are applying, add a pitch deck to your application so that we have an opportunity to visualize what your business is about. And then ultimately, we'll work with you on your pitch deck. But thank you so much, Bidemi. Thank you, Grace. Thank you. This has been invaluable for you to share your firsthand experience from the program, and how it's shaping your journey and continues to shape your journey. And as you shared, entrepreneurship is a long-term game. So anyone who thinks that funding comes easily and quickly is not in it for the right reasons, right? It takes time, and it takes commitment, and often people want to see you put forth your very best, right? And to demonstrate that like this is possible, right? You're doing the impossible, and so they want to see you sort of take the first leap of faith, and then they'll jump in and join along with you, whether they're funders or investors or whatever the case might be. And so consider this as sort of a your way of demonstrating to them that yes, your idea, your dream, your solution is possible and it's needed, right? It's essential, so that you can convince them and communicate buy-in to them to join in as partners. But if you all can join me in thanking Bidemi and Grace, we really appreciate the time that you have shared um, with us. Being an entrepreneur means that you're running around doing 5,000 things. So we appreciate you being here. If there are any questions for them, we'd love to hear. Are there any questions you all would like to ask? We have about 10 minutes before we wrap up. Any questions from the audience for Bidemi and Grace? The team, I think most of the questions in the chat have been answered, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Last call.
Someone has their hand up.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Lagunda? Yeah.
Yes, Samuel
Samuel?
from Uganda. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. Um, of course, I'm inspired, but I'm also looking forward to participate in this program if all goes well. My question is, one of the eligibility criteria is you must have traction either in digital or in physical product. But there is something I came across, I think, I thought about a week ago. I'm still building it, and it has not yet gained traction. So by virtue of its presentation or its viability, can it be taken into consideration?
Yes, so that's a great question. And so the business needs to be in, the enterprise needs to be in operation for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
And so within the 6 months of having formally registered and operated the business, we hope that you would have demonstrated some level of traction, whether it's by revenue or otherwise. So unfortunately, if it's an idea that are still working through and ideating through, then I'm not, then that would not qualify, right? Because you haven't been in operation in 6 months, and it doesn't sound like, at least I could be wrong, but it doesn't sound like the business or the product has been out in the market for 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
Q has a question to build on your question, Samuel. Q in the chat has a question about how much traction. That really depends on every business. And again, remember that we are accepting both nonprofits and for-profits. And so the way that nonprofits measure success and their metrics are very different from for-profits. So we are relying on you to tell us what traction you have gained, right? So that we can then assess that to determine if it makes sense and if it qualifies for the program. All right, Tody, and I think there may be one other person. Yeah, Tody, you can go ahead.
Hello everyone, thank you so much and congratulations for the good job because you're from the alumni. My question is about when let's say you finished. I mean, for each court, how many let's say leaders are supposed to be selected? Because now I just come to see let's say the two only alumni who had just come to share their experiences. So how many for each court when you finish all the other processes, I mean the step concerning the application, to finalize, how many I mean leaders are supposed to be selected for each court?
I'm on mute. Yes, thank you so much for that question. So this year we're looking at about 12 entrepreneurs for the cohort. Bidemi's cohort, we actually had 20 in the cohort, but only 16 completed the program successfully. And then Grace, I can't remember how many people graduated from your cohort, but usually it's anywhere between 15 to 20. But this year we're looking for a bit of a smaller size cohort. So it just means that the application process will be a little bit competitive, but we look forward to receiving your application. Any additional questions? Government funding, great question. So we used to provide some level of funding post-program through a partnership with the USADF. Unfortunately, with the new administration last year, that funding was dissolved. Grace, did you ever receive the USADF funding? Oh, you did. Oh, fantastic. That's
Yes, I did.
wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, and so it was a wonderful opportunity that we were very proud to offer to our entrepreneurs. So post program, they had the opportunity to apply for a $25,000 grant. Unfortunately, again, when the new administration transitioned January 2025, the announcement was that they would dissolve this particular funding along with other funding that was dissolved. And so, unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have anything that's being provided to our entrepreneurs. What ADN has established, though, is an African Diaspora and Innovation Fund that we are actively fundraising for. And those funds the goal of the fund is to issue it to recipients of the BAF and the ABLE program. And so eventually, as fundraising kicks off, we're able to build that fund. That funding will then go to members of this program as well as of the ABLE program. So we're working on finding a bridge to help provide some funding, but at the moment we're not quite there yet.
Okay, so just to be clear, so if no funding or grant is provided to founders, the goal of this program mainly is to provide the instruction, the programming, the community, the connection to investors, or that the would you summarize just to for someone who know if this is something that's they can uh carve out time to apply for. It's just I know there's a changing landscape. I definitely applaud you all for still being resilient and being able to provide this for the diaspora, but just wanted to have clarity on that as there's many things currently at the moment that I'm applying for.
Yep, that's a good way to recap. Thank you. So Zoe or Zoe, sorry if I'm uh mispronouncing your name, but just I'm looking at your question. What will stand out for a business to make it in the cohort? Okay. Apart from the traction and work input and influence in the community at large. So those elements that you've actually mentioned here are the very things that would make you stand out, right? Demonstrating traction again, demonstrating that there's a need for the solution that you're putting forth. And so you can look at anything from customer adoption to revenue generated to Grace. I'm trying to think, Bidemi, I'm trying to think of other metrics that you might be using to even investors, right? You may have people who see value in what you're doing and want to jump on as early investors. Again, those are all ways of measuring success, or that there's a need for the work that you're doing. The influence in the community, as you said, that's also a part of it as well. But those are the items that are going to make you stand out. Is that you've put forward the solution in the market and you've received feedback in a number of different ways, and can therefore demonstrate that yes, there is a need for this. All right. Any other questions? Thank you all so much. This has been very engaging. There has been a big question in the comments that I want to address. US-based businesses that are operating on the continent. I want to clarify that yes, you do qualify for the for the BAF program, what we need to see and that what you need to demonstrate is that you are headquartered on the continent, right? You have a headquarter on the continent. So you could be registered as a C Corp in the US, no problem, because we understand that for a fundraising perspective, you generally, want to be able to have multiple channels by which you're able to fundraise. And so we get that. But we generally are looking for your business to be headquartered on the continent, and that's what would differentiate whether you apply for the BAF program or the ABLE program. All right. So that's just been a huge question I've seen in the comments that I want to make sure that I address, and that I don't want people to not apply for the program because they think they don't qualify. If you apply for the ABLE program or you apply for BAF or both, that's fine, right? We will take a look at it and our selection committee can make that decision. But just don't miss out on the opportunity because you're unsure. Because we certainly do have businesses that are registered. Bidemi, I think you're registered, right, in the US? I could be wrong, but I believe Glee World is registered in the US and
Yes,
but
we are.
operates. Yes, yeah. So Bidemi, just what, a week ago, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, an impact investor approached us and said, "Hey, we want to talk to entrepreneurs, right, who for our next pitch round, right?" And so I shared the opportunity with him, but I needed to clarify if he was first registered in the US. And he confirmed that he was. And so once he said yes, I then reached out to the impact investor to say yes, Glee World is registered in the US. And so just know that if you're registered in the US, it doesn't mean that you don't qualify for BAF. It just means that you need to demonstrate that you are operating, you're headquartered on the continent, somewhere on the continent, right? But you may also qualify for the ABLE program. So, feel free, reach out directly to me, to Fatima, if you need any clarifications. I'm happy to answer any questions, but just don't miss out on the opportunity because you're unsure. Yes, the webinar is recorded and we will share that out with everyone. Thank you all so much. We're right at time. Want to be respectful of everyone's time. You all, being entrepreneurs, are have a lot on your plate, and so we respect the time that you've shared with us, and we hope that it was valuable. If there are any questions that come up, feel free to reach out to myself or to Fatima, and we'll be happy to respond to you. And if you all again can just huge thank you to Bidemi and Grace for their time and being here. We greatly appreciate it. But Grace, really quickly, is Pedal Tap registered in the US? Let me just clarify that while we're
Very
here. Not
correct.
yet. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Soon come. Soon come. Yeah, soon come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, you all have a wonderful day. It's a pleasure meeting with all of you, and good luck on your applications.